Hello there, welcome to another version of Contacts with Conway. I'm Martin Conway, and today I'd like to look at some of the issues associated with the insertion and removal of simple soft contact lenses. Soft lenses themselves have become even more simplified during the fitting process now, but it can actually take longer to show a patient how to successfully insert and remove a contact lens than it can to actually fit them. One particular issue is the current fashion for wearing long acrylic nails. These can actually get in the way when we're handling soft lenses, and more importantly, they can either damage the lens or the eye itself during the removal process in particular. Over time, I've developed certain techniques to avoid these issues, and I'd like to share them with you during the following clips. As far as the techniques are concerned, the insertion technique is not that different from that used in conventional lenses. The lens is placed on the tip of the right or left index finger, lids are parted, and the lens is gradually introduced to the eye. The important thing is not to push the lens onto the eye, otherwise it will tend to fold back against the finger. Gently but slowly introduce the lens until the lens will actually drop onto the eye of its own accord. This technique is particularly useful for those nervous patients that may attempt to flinch at the last moment. When we come to removal, this is the key difference. What we're going to do is approach the eye using the tips of two fingers pointed vertically at the ceiling to keep the nail away from the eye, and the lens is approached using the balls of the two index fingers. Lower lid is lowered with the another finger, and as the lens is approached, we just simply press against the lens. This time we do want pressure against the lens, and maintaining that pressure, we then rotate the fingers and the lens comes away inside the finger without introducing the nails to the surface of the lens, or more importantly to the cornea, as we'll see from the following video clips. For patients that are slightly nervous about putting a lens on the eye, have them part the lids and bring the lens as close to the eye as possible without actually pushing the lens on. Allow the lens to drop onto the eye of its own accord, and then just look down onto the lens to iron out any wrinkles that may occur. This helps the patient that's slightly nervous about touching their eye, because you can explain to them that we're not actually touching the eye, we're just allowing the lens to drop on of its own accord. For those patients with long nails or artificial nails, there's another technique that we use. Have the patient pull the lower lid down and take the two index fingers pointing vertically to keep the nails away from the eye. Press against the eye with the pads of the fingers and roll the lens out underneath the soft fleshy part of the finger, avoiding contact with the eye with the nails at all costs. We'll slow that down once more. Fingers together, pressing against the surface of the lens, and whilst pressing, roll the fingers together and the lens comes out. Simple technique to help those nervous patients. And here again, we'll show the technique in real time this time. We're all taught the very basics at college when we learn how to fit contact lenses, first of all, insertion and removal techniques, but we later go on to develop our own techniques with practice. I hope you found this short video useful. If you have, please remember to like it, share it, and subscribe. If you have any techniques of your own that you've developed since qualifying and you'd like to share with us, please contact us and we'd be delighted to include them on the next video. In the meantime, thank you very much for your attention and see you next time.